Hi, I'm Dee Black. I'm 64. I feel wonderful, and you are wonderful. So they say that real reality is full of paradoxes. And here's a paradox for you. What I'm about to say is so huge, it's so big that it cannot and must not be taken lightly. And yet, the thing in itself is light and free as can be. And what that is free will. We have free will. We have the free will to choose how we're going to show up in the world, how we are going to perceive, how we process what happens to us. And this is so enormous because that affects our wellness, our state of being, our state of health. And not only do we know this by how we feel, but it's being proven by neuroscience and the work of people like Dr. Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden and so on. Of course, the huge key to this is self-awareness, for us to be aware of ourselves and to have self-reflection, and also to not beat ourselves up and not beat anyone else up. And the thing that is super, super cool about all this is because we can choose our perspective, we have this ability to do so. We can, if we want to, choose live from the most expansive way possible, and that is to recognize our identity as infinite beings. And many of us, when we meditate and viscerally we can feel that we are infinite beings and that we are playing human on earth, this wonderful, wonderful opportunity and gift to be able to do this. And it is, of course, extremely mysterious. But when we live through that viewpoint, through that perspective, through that lens, and it's not even really a lens, it's like a state of being. But when we live that way, we are so free. There's nothing to fear. Like, what's the worst that could happen to an infinite being? When we really recognize our identity and that of everyone else as infinite beings here to explore, to experience, and we can experience ups and downs and whatever we are experiencing, but to know that at the end, we wake up from the dream. It's not news that the body is born and then dies, but that who we are is beyond birth and death, was never born and will never die. The Eastern mystics, the Buddhists and so on would say this, and that who we really are is just, we just exist in this infinite now. And we've just always have existed. So this is not new, but what is new is that more and more exponentially, we are living like that. More and more people are living with that awareness in the daily life. Well, I sure don't have to claim mastery over this. I'm interested in it. I'm fascinated by it, and I remind myself often to remind myself who I am and to live through that perspective. And I invite you to take what resonates with what I have said and just leave the rest. And thank you for joining me, and see you next time. Much love.